Were you a musical fan prior to working on this?
Not a musical fan.
Did you become a musical fan while working on it?
No. There's a couple of musicals that I've loved in my younger years. The one Oliver that came. It was actually a movie though. I don't know if that counts.
Oliver was the one set in London, right?
Yes,
I know vaguely what that is. Yeah.
I saw that on a field trip when I was in probably sixth grade or something like that, and huge impact on me. I remember all of the songs. Like I love that story, but that was a movie. It's not the same.
The first thing that I thought of was The Wiz, which is a musical that I just saw it a couple years ago for the first time, believe it or not.
I don't know if I ever saw The Wiz top to bottom. I must have, but for me to say that I'm not sure if I saw it,
Yeah, that says
let you know that I was just not into those type of shows. So your question was I into musicals? I was not. And so I made it my mission to write a musical that I would want to see.
got you.
Because I know there's a lot of people like me that are like, these things are so corny. The music is corny. All of it is corny to a lot of us. So I decided to try to write something that if I saw it, I would be like, oh, this is dope. This is like not what I was expecting at all. And, when we had our reading, we had a stage reading in 2023, fully casted, 14 actors, director, the whole nine, the whole staff, like the full nine, stage director, the whole 9 yards. And one of my wife's friends, she brought a boyfriend there, or should I say she dragged him there because he absolutely did not want to go. He complained on the train ride the whole way there. Like, why are you bringing me to this? I don't like this kind of stuff. Like, this is not my thing. Like, I'm not into this. I didn't know any of this leading up to the show. But after the show was over and we out into the lobby meeting with the people, he's coming up to me, yo, that was fire. Yo, and she's on the side like, yeah, he ain't going to tell you that he complained the whole way here about not wanting to come. And now look at him. So that reaction spoke volumes to me because it was exactly what I was hoping for. To people who aren't necessarily into musicals, aren't necessarily into theater, that here's a show that will make you feel differently about the possibilities of what theater and musicals can be.
That's like a beautiful example of how expansive hip hop can be.
Exactly.
How expansive you as an artist view your art form. Like you look at what you're doing as a writer as being more than just confined to just a beat.
Yeah.
And even when it is set to a beat, like it can go a million other places other than just here's a verse.
Yeah.
So you've been working on this for roughly 10 years. Like walk me through the timeline of a stage play and where it goes and where it would land at. Like I know in music, the goal is like you make an album, drop an album, go on tour, do promo.
Yep.
But what's the cycle of a musical?
So for us, 2023 was when we had the stage reading. It was really well received. Since that stage reading in 2023, we have been actively looking for investors, big money investors. My goal is for this thing to go to London, to go to the West End in London. I want to start there because I don't, first of all, Broadway's triple the cost to do something on Broadway. I'm not a platinum selling artist. I'm not a household name. I'm not an artist in the States that the average person would even have heard of or know about my career. I know that the best place for me to start is where people are already in tune to my career, who I am as an artist. I've sold out London, the Jazz Cafe, the last 3 times that I've been there. I know that I have a following there. And I know that I have a following in the greater European market. So I know that my fans are going to travel well. So my goal is to get this thing to the West End. We got to raise about $6.5 million to make that happen. But had we tried to do this on Broadway, it would have been about $18 million. So
wow.
The next steps are to find those 1 or 2 or 10 investors that believe in this show enough to get it off the ground. And once we're able to raise that $6.5 million to get to London, that's when everything's going to take off. Broadway will be waiting for us when the time is right. We don't want to be begging them to take us on. We would rather prove ourselves on the West End and prove that we have a show that is something new and different and special, and then have Broadway come calling later.
Broadway is in its infancy stages with accepting hip hop, it feels like, to me.
Very much so. They're very close-minded to it. Very close-minded.
I know you remember when cats were saying hip hop was just a fad. I feel like that's where Broadway is.
Yeah.
But this just sounds like the tale of the indie artist going overseas to make it happen.
Yeah.
As usual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I believe in going where you're appreciated and not where you're tolerated. That's my mindset.